In this video, we want to talk about AMD and several reasons to be bullish. One is interest rates going down. A second one is a key event that's coming up for AMD. And the third is Cathie Wood is getting long AMD. Now, this is the monthly chart, and you can see how when price hit its all-time high back in March, we had what's called a pullback all the way down to a weekly buy level at $120. Now, if we scroll down to the weekly chart, we can see that a bit closer. We have this rallying price, 3 basing candles, which is weekly candles, and then we have the leg out or the rally out. So we had a rally, base, rally, in which price took out the pivot high to the left, which is a breaker structure on decent and above average volume. So what happens typically is when you have this strong move out, some of the buyers don't get their orders filled. So when price comes back, it is an opportunity at that time for price to and orders to get filled. Now, before we continue with the analysis, let's look at why you should be bullish on AMD. So shares of AMD were moving higher last month as a result of the news. In particular, Federal Reserve's 50-point basis cut and a general tailwind in the semiconductor sector. Now, without chips, there is no economy, right? Everything is driven on technology, and chips drive that technology. Everything you can think of. AMD has generally been a winner in the AI boom, though the company is only just starting to assert itself as a key supplier. With its MI300 data center GPU, which saw strong growth in the second quarter. This is why we saw NVIDIA move higher, roughly 1,000% in 20 months recently, because of their importance to data centers and AI, ChatGPT, Claudia, Plexity, you name it. First, AMD announced its Advancing AI 2024 event scheduled for October 10th. The company plans to show off its next generation AMD Instinct Accelerator, 5th generation server processor. You also have Cathie Wood. She's been buying up shares since roughly late summer. She purchased 45,000 shares recently, and that was a sign for investors to be positive. Now you can see from this chart, Cathie Wood has been buying AMD. She started buying it back in 2023. She recently sold some shares, but has begun to add to her portfolio again. She got in at average price of $102. It only represents 0.5 or less of her portfolio. Roughly 237,000 shares she owns total, worth $40 million. So it's a drop in the bucket, but nevertheless bullish for AMD. Then we also had a report from Reuters in which they say that AMD had a victory over Intel as it's going to design a key chip for the Sony's PlayStation 6. And Citigroup reiterated AMD as a top AI pick. AMD also got a boost on the Fed rate cut, gaining 4.5% on September 19th, along with a broader upswing in the market. Finally, AMD scored another win toward the end of the month as Oracle Cloud Infrastructure said it would use AMD's Instinct MI300X accelerators, a key win for the new chip which competes with NVIDIA. Now, I think that there's room for both companies as we're only in the early innings of this AI boom for the next 5 to 10 years. However, again, all eyes will be on the October 10th AI presentation. Stock is likely to move on the news. Investors will be expecting some new products that could move the needle for AMD, especially as it looks best positioned to challenge NVIDIA in the data center market. So with that said, this is the weekly chart, and you can see last week price moved down to go higher, and that's what we like to see. We don't like to see price go straight up in a line. If you see those type of moves, that means it can come straight down in a line. Here's an example. When price dropped back in mid-June, this is an extended range red candle, and you had two in a row. So to me, that means that there are no sellers, at least until you get to 185, which is why price has been moving up very nicely. So three targets, going to be this 185, 200 round hole psychological number, and $221. Now let's go down to the daily chart, and the question is, where would you get long? You have this massive W pattern here. Typically when you break the apex, you get a retest before prices move higher. So that was a nice setup nevertheless. Scrolling down to the 4-hour chart, here was a nice entry if you wanted to lower your risk. So as price moves up, it will form levels of buyers. At the moment, I don't see any at this time, but look for your next targets again. Look at that first target to come in at 185. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.